Previously on Describe Your Kill. Merry Christmas to all of our listeners.
Ooh, those are very good rolls. That's 26 damage.
Well done, Tengu. We must continue to support them as best we can.
Aaron, I'm gonna pump a soothe spell into you.
Can we choose a different word?
It's beak!
Beak, not the beak.
Monkey beak.
Oh, it rolls a natural 20!
Malachi, do you have some healing left? I'm not doing so well.
I do.
That's a natural 20!
Well, I guess that bird just got stuffed.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Describe Your Kill. Still in 2023. Will this year never end? But because our PR manager, Matty, is not here, I wanted to have a little chat with you in what I like to call the Gooch Week. The week between Christmas Day and New Year. The Gooch Week. So thank you once again to everyone who's listening, commenting. Let's get stuck into episode 13 of Describe Your Kill, The Death of Destiny. Much A-Tengu about nothing. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hoi hoi.
Good evening.
Looking forward to tonight's session. We're out of combat, finally, nearly. So looking forward to that. Be a relief after the 2.5 hour marathon on Christmas Day that I thought would be over in half an hour. Quick little cheeky edit. No.
Spilling over into Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Put that one on while you're sleeping.
Hope you enjoy your Christmas present, guys. Because we fucking hated it.
Chris, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Anything?
Nice.
Any news from the west part of the country? You
It's
getting
cold.
the snow?
Cold. No snow. Slightly cold. Looking forward to the sun, though.
The sun? What sun?
Well, when it comes to summer. Like.
Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ, Craig.
He's looking ahead.
Chris entering a hibernation.
I was going to say. Yeah, Malachi Bordello will
built
be played
my
by
nest.
someone else for the next 4 months because Chris is going to sleep for.
Yes.
Malachi's realised he's not really up for this. He didn't
He's
sign
got a
up to be
bedroom.
attacked
He's got a
by
bedroom and all.
four vultures. He's going to retire to the Harrow Heart, but at the Harrow Court for 4 months. Kimon, how are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you.
Have you got any snow in Germany this time of year?
If it's snow, it's not really. You can't call it snow. It's just mud.
Oh,
and some snow particles mixed in there.
you have raining mud in your part of the world, do you?
We have.
Hallelujah.
Is that a new Slayer song?
It's tragic, really. No, it's.
Is that a mistranslation, or is that actual mud coming through the sky?
Just like slush, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that really.
I
that
see.
really
Muddy slush when it doesn't settle.
disgusting, muddy snow.
Okay.
It's the pooping rain.
I have nothing to add to that. Let's keep going.
Well, Kimon, I'm sure you might be feeling all right, but after last week's episode, Wilhelm
Wilhelm is
certainly isn't feeling all right. That was quite the combat, and I'm sure I've said that in previous episodes. I personally didn't expect it to snowball as quickly as it did. Things got out of hand very, very quickly. Of course, Aaron went down, saved by the warbling Tengu song, then proceeded into a 2.5 hour clusterfuck.
1,000 attacks of opportunity will do.
The gentle sound of the Tengu.
That was a tough fight.
Malachi got a pasting. In fact, you all got pastings. How's everyone's hit points? I think Aaron, actually, considering started the last session on his knees, is looking the healthiest at the moment.
Yeah, I'm on 82 out of 128.
Yeah,
Lupin?
Did manage to
Lupin
get a
is-
soothe off eventually.
Yeah.
What's Lupin's hit points?
45, which is not as bad as I thought it would be, considering I took some freaking massive hits. Really got beaten up
Malachi,
last session.
what's he sitting on?
I'm on 68.
Okay. And Wilhelm?
Let me check. Yeah, nothing. I got nothing.
Nothing. So, of course, Wilhelm, sitting there, dying.
Sitting is
Combat.
very generous.
Yes, no, prone. Dropped his weapon. The rapier has sadly fallen through a crack into the Dark
In reality.
Lands. It is gone. It now resides where Malachi's armor does.
In Craig's rage-fueled heart.
I thought I was going to get one of you there. It wasn't going to be Aaron. There was the bird that was waiting for him to stand up, but he did manage to get out of it.
As someone who hasn't had any of his backstory put out yet, I was getting quite nervous, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The less backstory you have, the less backpedaling the GM's going to have, the more in danger you are in the combat.
I have the exact opposite experience.
Yeah.
As soon as you lay it all out, you're dead. That's it.
I had absolutely zero plot armor there. Not happy.
Yeah, that's true.
You have a gun, you don't need plot armor.
It's true. So just a very
Chris
quick
had level
recap.
7 plot armor.
You now have these 6 powerful cards in your possession, believed to be from something called the Deck of Destiny, from your chat with D-Ral. You manifested the Harrow Court, and indeed visited it. You manifested your bedrooms. You then popped back to town to heal up, and realised that these 6 portals within the Grand Hall all lead to different locations across Galarian, each within the vicinity of one of the cards from the Deck of Destiny. So you head through the Hammers portal, of course, where you now are, the Deadshot lands, and you met Skornak and his band of Tengu fighters who were raiding the Mavanian soldiers, trying to get supplies. They were trapped in this little copse of trees, looking to get across the grasses. You meet them, chat with them, and then you come under attack from the Mavanians with their spear launchers, which Skornak did manage to get one hit on at the end of the combat last week. Very pleased about that. And then decide to help these fighters get across the grasslands to their camp. And of course, when you do that, you are set upon by these 4 BDSM vultures, as Kimone put it, and their boss, or a much bigger version of one of those. And they do, unfortunately, kill several of the Tengu. With the massive combat, Aaron goes down, gets back up, and right at the end of last session, Wilhelm goes down. So I think we do have a little bit of dying to resolve. I'm hoping no one's got any healing left. So, Lupin, I believe it was your final action that took down the creature.
It was.
So it would be Malachi's turn in the turn order. Over to you.
Have I got enough actions?
Don't worry about a big
I
spell if
can-
you've only got limited spells. Yeah, we've got other
I'm
ways.
right next to him.
It's gonna cast Facebolt on me.
I mean, I have got a soothe that I can just pump out just to get him up.
I mean, once again, appreciating the very graphic use of the word pump out there. But
I think we'd agreed not to use that
Yeah.
terminology.
Matty was very
He's gonna
clear.
thrust
Can we
the
use a
soothe spell
different
out.
word?
See if you can
Oh, Chris is
curl
joking.
one out. Yeah. It's up to you, mate. They're your resource. I'm just thinking that's probably a useful one we could potentially do if there's another combat off the back of this. Whereas, say, we could just
What
treat
time of the day
wounds
is
or
it?
something to.
It is. Oh, that's a good question. The sun is starting to set. Yeah, it's around 5-6 p.m.
Malachi will stride across through the Tengus, push them out of the way, seeing that Wilhelm has gone down, and whisper a sweet little song into his ear.
Let me pause the music.
Make
Get
it
ready.
good, Malachi.
Get ready.
Take your time, it's not like I'm dying.
Shit, you're dying. This is not the greatest and best song in the world. It's just a tribute.
was not expecting that.
Get up, you devil! Get up, you devil! Strokes his head as he's doing it and casts 4th level soothe.
4th level soothe, we got there. How much
Can I roll a will save against that?
No, you're
No,
unconscious.
no, we're getting out of here. We're not going for it again.
Malachi, how much healing is that for
36
Wilhelm?
points
36.
of damage.
Everyone else
Damage.
Damage, Jesus fucking Christ!
I
Everyone
agree.
else-
Yeah.
It's gone to
actually,
dying
yeah.
too.
Everyone else take 10 points of fatigue.
So are we out of combat now then, as Wilhelm is...
Wilhelm is restored, and you look around you. There is blood, this awful thick black blood from these awful creatures that you are kind of swamped in. The grass swaying in the wind as the sun's going down. It's not just the silhouettes catching, it's also the blood of these creatures. And Skornak, with this spear launcher that's it's almost as big as him, comes waddling over, and he says, "Well done, heroes! You managed to save us. Thank you so much. Is there anything we can do?"
Aaron is falls to his knees and just realizing that the battle is done, and he's looking around at these massive dead vulture creatures, but also can't help but see the bodies of the Tengu. And knowing that he was leading the path, he just feels wholly responsible. He turns his attention to Wilhelm and he says, "Are you all right, Wilhelm? Can you stand? Are you all right?"
I think I'm fine. And he looks over at the creature that he, in his last turn, attacked and hit 4 times. And he sees it dead on the ground and he says, did I take it on with me?
Lupin tries to conceal the smoking pistol behind his back. Yes, you got him. Well done.
Please, can we go? I'm sorry. And I look at Aaron looks at Skornak and says, "I'm sorry. Your friends. I didn't mean to lead them into danger. I'm so sorry."
"Yes, we have lost many soldiers today, but we have won a great battle. These creatures, these demons have been pestering us for many weeks. We have taken them down, not just them, but their leader. Aaron, yes, we have lost." And you can see that the Tengu is starting to pick up their dead and putting them over their shoulders, making makeshift stretchers to bring them home. She goes, "Yes, we must get to the camp. I believe we're safe for now. Thank you for defending us."
And Aaron is still not feels wholly absolved of any kind of guilt, but he turns out looking across the plains and he can still see the faint golden line heading across from the Wanderer's Guide spell. "I think I can still trace the path. We should make haste and get to your camp as quickly as possible. The sun is going down."
"Yes, we can. Absolutely. We haven't had time to pick up the rest of the weapons from the Mavanians, but they would more than be useful to us and maybe quite valuable. My advice would be to check there, but we can make it on our own. We'll proceed to the camp. If you wish to meet us there, we'll be there. Thank you."
And Aaron looks around to Lupin, very much not wanting to make any more decisions today.
I think Lupin is sort of stood there trying quite hard not to show just how out of breath he is. I think he's breathing a little bit harder than he'd like to admit. Yeah, the hands are on the hips, and he's sort of surveying the battlefield. And, yeah, you can see the chest going.
Tired.
Good fight. They nearly had us worried a bit for a bit there. A good show, all. Let's take a look at these weapons. I dare say we can probably get a few of them in the bag of holding, and what's left is perhaps we can either bury or conceal and come back for another time.
So you look behind you and you see not too far away are the 4 dead bodies of the Mavanians. And also their leader, and there's obviously the bodies of the creatures that you have just dispatched of as well. And everybody roll perception check for me.
That is a natural 13 for 34 for Lupin.
32 for Aaron.
28 for Wilhelm.
24.
Right, so Skornak, you see, starts getting together the dead, and they're carrying them now, and they sort of start pushing off in the direction of the forest as the sun is slowly going down, sort of quicker now as you come to your senses. And with your perception checks, you all feel a familiar pull, a familiar sensation within your minds emanating from the body of one of these creatures. Appears to be a source of great magic.
Lupin will look over to Aaron. You feel that?
I feel it too, yes. And Aaron casts Detect Magic.
And yes, you detect a very strong sense of magic coming from the leader.
Over here. And Aaron approaches the body. Can I search a bird?
You can search the bird, yeah. He's
In his feathers? Where's he hiding it?
I'll show you the artwork
you don't want to know.
again. He's got
It's like a Christmas turkey.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Dickmas.
the larger bird creature, which you did identify as a hurlilu, which is a fiend, has a kind of leather thong like pouch around his
A bandolier,
waist.
please. A
bandolier, yeah.
Not a thong. Not a thong. He's wearing a massive thong.
A giant leather
He's stuck on
codpiece.
15-foot thong.
The demons around here wear quite provocative clothing.
He's really running
They really
with
are
the BDSM
vultures. Okay, Aaron searches the bandolier. And what does he find?
Within the bandolier around this enormous beast, it's mechanically large, but its wingspan is huge. And inside you kind of pull out a couple of bits and pieces. One of them is a ruby, and it's emblazoned with an image representing a deity, and it's the religious symbol of Pazuzu, which we can deal with in a little while. You also find a unusually coloured bird feather token, and as you're kind of scrabbling around in the pockets, Aaron, you feel the edge of a card
Aaron's heart stops.
and dies.
No.
Again.
Aaron, are you having a heart attack?
He's dying 3. He grabs the corner of the card and pulls it out.
Aaron, you pull out this card, and immediately you know you have found another one of these powerful artifacts. You have located another card from the Deck of Destiny, and this card is called the Big Sky.
It's here. He turns around to the others and shows it to them. It's here. This creature had it. It was just here. The portals led us straight to it. And do I instinctively know what it does?
You sure do, yes. The Big Sky, if you spend a second to invest this card, is the chaotic good card from the suit of hammers, which is related to strength. The Big Sky represents a widespread change or liberation. As long as you have the Big Sky invested, you gain a +2 item bonus to perception checks made while you are flying outside during the day, and to any check made to escape. The bonus increases to +3 if you're at least 17th level. And once per day, its power, you can envision for 2 actions, for 10 minutes, you and up to 4 creatures you touch ignore difficult terrain and effects that would give a circumstance penalty to speed.
That's very helpful.
Very cool.
Do we know yet what its power is in the Harrow Court, or do we have to go back to...
You will
discover
have to
them?
return to the Harrow Court to discover its epitome.
So, Aaron pulls this out, and I assume that everybody else has that same kind of innate understanding of what it does?
Yeah, it doesn't say explicitly, but I'm going to rule that it does, yeah, just to save on time and sanity, but I think that would be reasonable.
This is yet another just incredibly powerful object, but who wants it? Someone should look after it.
Rollies.
Rollies!
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 Wow, another one of these. Usually I put my name in that, but I think Wilhelm should have it.
Malachi, you seem off lately. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. Don't worry.
Malachi, why do you think Wilhelm should have it?
I mean,
Or Chris?
I can see Malachi's point. Between the 4 of us, I believe I'm the only one who has done any flying recently. But if one of you wants it, then I'm fine with or without it.
Aaron walks over to Wilhelm and hands him the card and says, I think this belongs to the Flying Wilhelm.
Setting it in stone.
And he also takes the religious symbol and chucks it to Lupin, and then holds out the... Did you say it was a feather token?
Yeah.
And says, Can anyone help identify what this feather token does?
Let me take a look. It is. I have one, and yeah, Lupin would like to try and identify that one, please.
Okay. So, Lupin, you pull out the one that you found before, and you put it against this one in your hand. You don't need to roll a perception check to see that these two share the exact same colour. These two are clearly related in some way. I'm going to ask everyone to roll a secret society check. Okay. Yeah, you all look at it, and Aaron and Wilhelm, you get closest to understanding. Malachi too, you think that there's clearly something here, but with your knowledge, you're not quite able to determine what that significance is at this stage.
Well, it must be significant somehow, but I just can't grab what that is.
Maybe it'll come to us in time. We can perhaps sleep on it and re-examine in the morning. So Lupin will start searching through some of the other bodies that are here.
Yeah, so if you search the four Mavanian soldiers, each of them have a spike launcher gun. These are worth 250 gold each, and they also have a +1 striking rapier, and each of those is worth 100 gold each.
To the bag of holding with you.
Have some ammunition. Each one also has a pair of manacles, handcuffs. Kinky?
Put that one on the Discord.
I was going to say, yeah, this is all getting
spicy.
Yeah, I was going to say that BDSM vultures was just a throwaway joke. I'm starting to think I might be onto something.
Well, okay, you can have these without rollies.
I've got my own.
He's like, no thanks, I'm all set.
Yeah.
And the boss man from the first combat, his launcher has gone with Skornak, so, but he does have a +1 striking rapier with him.
More things to sell. Maybe we can look and see if we can find Groldo. And then...
Oh yeah, we need to find Groldo.
Yes.
Oh, there he is.
Found him!
Found him! Didn't have to look too hard.
So, Lupin, you take the equipment from the...
I'm going to take that just mechanically for Foundry point of view. I'm just going to take one off the bodies and then just multiply them in Foundry just for...
All good. Malachi, what are you doing whilst this is happening?
I think Malachi would probably just be chilling out at this point, actually, letting the others do the work a little bit. He would have piped up for the card, definitely interested in that, but definitely thought that Wilhelm would be best matched for that. Wouldn't be too interested in the looting too much with what was found. Probably just sitting, playing a little tune on his guitar.
Fair enough. Surrounded by the corpses, his next
just chilling with them. Absolutely fine with it. Might cast another soothe on Wilhelm while he's there.
Another song, please.
Another song. Brings his musical accompaniment out.
And it's certainly becoming dark in the Deadshot lands. You can see just around 500 feet away, maybe slightly more, the camp is in the distance. But you can kind of make out that just as you were looting and identifying and stuff, that Skornak and his men, you can't see the rustle of grass anymore. It appears that they've made it safely across the plains. Really, what you do next is over to you. What I will say is that as the sun goes down, you do all feel this kind of sense of homesickness again and this pull within yourselves. But over to you.
I think we should perhaps check the stash of weapons and then look to be on our way. Whether we go to the camp or whether we go back to the court is perhaps neither here nor there at this point.
I feel like I want to go home. And by home, Aaron really does mean Harrowheart.
Wilhelm just takes kind of a long look at this card that I don't know if the second edition artwork is the same, but I'm just going to describe the first edition one.
Please do.
So he looks at this card with slaves breaking their chains and looking to the sky with hope in their eyes, and he knows that the card represents momentous, powerful chains and that old shackles are cast off. It certainly does not represent how he feels right now, so he looks at it and it kind of feels unearned and kind of alien to him in a way, and like it doesn't really quite belong to him. But 2 out of 3 already said that it should be his, so he just says it's okay for now and puts it in his pocket and says, "So, how about we check in with what was his name? I'm sorry,
Milton.
Milton, yes, the fine gentleman that has my appetite."
What?
Your appetite?
Yes, we both eat just
Okay,
just the same amount of food.
Yeah.
I.e. nothing.
I'm sorry, common is not my native tongue. It might be that this means something else in common expressions, but I don't mean that my appetite lusts for him. It means that he has the same appetite as me.
Keep digging.
This is very awkward. Can we please go?
Let's
I hope Aaron is already focusing on the card because I don't have much left.
let's see what we very nearly died for first.
What do you
Fair
mean?
enough.
What do you mean, Jace?
You're gonna check out the pile of weapons that the Tengu were.
Oh no, they've taken them with them. They've gone. Yeah. That's what they were
Oh, they took them with them, did they?
Yeah,
I thought you were implying that they sort of left them there and we were to search through them.
No, they'd
That was the
already
corpses.
raided the camp, and they were
Yeah.
taking the stash back to their camp.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is what's with that stash? Have they taken that stash with them?
Yes. Oh yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I misunderstood. I thought he was saying he'd left them here.
Ah, okay. No, my apologies. And I think
Yeah.
just to kind of make it clear, like the stuff they had was quite primitive. There were
That's
kind of
fine.
parts
Yeah.
and stuff like that. There wouldn't have been necessarily anything of real value other than the spike launchers. Which,
No, that's fine. Is I misinterpreted what the game was. I thought that was like the. I thought
Your loot pile.
The game was going. No, here is your loot. As it
Oh,
were.
okay.
Yeah.
He's had a level 20 artifact and he's still not happy.
Yeah.
He can classic shopkeeper.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So is everyone content if we head back to the court?
Yes, I think.
Yes.
And Aaron, next to Wilhelm, says, "Well, Wilhelm, do you want to do the honors with your new card?"
I can try. Just one quick thing before Wilhelm does that, because I don't want to interrupt the flow as soon as the portal is open.
Yeah.
Wilhelm would certainly like to try to make a recall knowledge check on the boss thing to see what type of fiend it is. If it's a devil or a demon or a daemon.
You have already passed that one, I believe.
I think we only found out it's a fiend, but if not,
Yeah, so you did. It's a Hurlilu or
Yeah, but-
Lilu.
is this a fiend is basically like a big category of creatures,
Yep,
and there's always a subcategory which is
Lilu.
either demon, devil, or daemon.
Yeah, this one is Lilu. That is its.
Oh,
that is
wait.
its subcategory.
okay.
He just
Weird.
wants to use his
So that's-
law. Come on.
Okay, no, I don't want to use my law if it's not necessary, because no roll is always better than a roll. But okay, so it's neither a demon, a daemon, or a fiend,
It is a fiend.
or devil. Sorry.
No, it's a Lilu.
Okay,
And I think I gave you some of this before. Lilus are chaotic evil fiends who can fly, immune to disease, and have mixed avian and humanoid appearance. Most have a selection of primal innate spells, but yes, these are a unique type of fiend to the adventure path.
all right.
And just for this is like an eternal war between these fiends and the Tengu.
Yeah, so I won't go too much into it, but the Deadshot lands, there is this ongoing battle between the kind of the common people, which is mainly made up of Tengu. There are humans as well and other races, versus this kind of, I can't remember, it's theocratic. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Theocratic kind of theocracy where the demons and the Mavanians kind of work to keep the people down and basically dominate them through kind of worship to demon gods and stuff like that. And it's this kind of ongoing power struggle between the two.
And is this land on Galorian? No.
Yeah, it's on Galarian. Galarian's the planet. Yeah. But it's very much, you're thousands of miles away from, say,
From
more
Absalom.
well-known, certainly from Absalom. Yeah, thousands of miles away. Yeah.
As a tie-in to the fiend question, or did we already roll for that? If any of us can identify what Pazuzu is,
Sure. Yeah, you can roll a religion check for me.
would fiendish law apply if it's a demon god?
Sure.
Can I try this?
Yeah,
then?
go for it. Yeah.
Okay, nice. You're unusually
If it's,
calm about this today.
If it's
I'll
a
take it.
theocracy, it probably is the god that they're kind of leading in the name of.
Yeah, if I've got that right. So Pazuzu, you both rolled high enough there. That's 33 and a 32. Pazuzu is the king of the wind demons, the demon lord of the sky, temptation and winged creatures. Counts himself among the most ancient of demon lords, though his constant warring with Lamashtu has hindered his acclamation of power. To the
Oh,
point
is he one of the
denying
demon
godhood.
lords?
Yes, he is king of the wind demons, the demon lord of the sky.
Oh, wow, okay.
And these creatures clearly worship him and use that power to subdue the residents of the Deadshot Lands, which I believe is located on Arcadia.
Yeah.
So there you go. A little bit of a lore hit for you fans.
All right.
This ruby here, this might be something that you might be interested in, Lupin. It's demonic in nature, and if you want to, you can take it with you if no one is against that.
Me take a look. It's at the very least, it probably go in the bag of holding.
Or make a wonderful birthday present for Erikanesh.
Yes.
Yes.
My estimations from looking at the loot table say that it's 750 gold, so I wouldn't. I would sell it basically, but.
So the other creatures that you were fighting, just to dot some I's and cross some T's, they were, I think I might have let it slip briefly, but they are Vroks, which are wrath demons. They have some cool abilities. The dances, the spores, the stunning screech, pretty nasty bastards. And of course the double attack of opportunity if they were flying.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yes, they could use 2 talon strikes instead of 1 regular strike.
Nasty.
No cool knowledge in there. Obviously, we're all quite busy.
Yeah.
But they have some cool... Yeah, they do. They're a cool creature. The Vrok Lesnar, as I think they've been known in a previous campaign. We fought one of these
You
before,
smell
a couple of
what
you.
the rock.
They have weakness to...
Well, certainly good damage, didn't they?
Yeah, they're weak to
Because-
good,
yeah.
and they're weak to cold iron. But they're also vulnerable to peace. So if they fail a save, like against a calm emotion spell or something that's forcing them to be peaceful, they immediately take 4d6 mental damage.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool.
So they're so chaotic.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's pretty.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
So Wilhelm, are you going to enact the Enter the Harrow Court ritual?
Yes, but Wilhelm is not going to use the new card. He's going to use the Rabbit Prince.
Okay. Cue the riffle. Wilhelm, you stare into the Rabbit Prince card, and after a minute, this now slightly more familiar sensation flows through your body as the portal bursts, surrounded by these riffling cards, back into where you entered it outside the gate within Harrow Heart.
After you guys.
We step through.
Yep.
You step through the portal, all of you, leaving the Deadshot Lands and return back to your familiar surroundings of the Harrow Heart. And as you do, you step through the portal, which closes behind you. And the portal that you came through, which was obviously on the far left of the row of 6 on the north wall of the Grand Hall, which you're now back in, you see that there's nothing there. Where there was swirling mist before, it's now just a stone wall. The portal itself seems to be inactive. You look around the hall and you see Milton and you smell cooking dinner. You see that a table is set, and could be your imagination, but there appears to be slightly more servants around. Maybe just one or two. The place looks a little bit cleaner, maybe, than when you left it. Slightly more presentable, we can say. What do you do?
It seems like this is some sort of challenge. I don't know about you, but it seems to me like the cards want to be found. If the portal closed, it's like the business is concluded now that the card has been found. This is most unusual.
I don't think the cards want to be found. I think they specifically want to be found by us.
I think you're right, but I'm very confused as to how they've chosen who they've ended up with in the first place. You know, that monster that we had to defeat to claim the big sky, and D-Row with his card. And yet they've all seemed to clung and selected us.
There's a lot of things to be confused about, I think. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your line, Lupin.
No.
It feels like a very you thing to say, but
Yes.
hold on. I need to get back into my character.
I mean, I'm confused.
Have you been drinking the tea?
I'm confused at the best of times.
I took some in my flask. I didn't think you'd notice.
It's been stealing Eric and Edge's tea. First the kippers, now the tea. Is there no end to your villainy?
The poor bastard sitting down for his dinner. He's like, wait, what?
Looks around in his house. Is gone.
Empty. Cupboards have been raided.
Yeah.
That's what Malachi was doing while everybody was just stashes of it in his pockets.
He's carrying 40 pounds of kippers.
What's that smell, sire?
So, Lupin,
Oh, God.
no. Error. Shit, it's the tea.
He has been drinking the
The tea.
Christ. What's happening?
tea. Matty's got his own cup.
I thought we might be here a while.
I believe, yes, you might be right. In your wondering, Aaron, I have no idea what's going on. I don't think anyone in this realm has any way of knowing what's going on.
Indeed, it's a curious set of circumstances, but perhaps with the path it's taken us on so far, we all seem to be here in more or less in one piece. Perhaps it's best not to fight this particular destiny too hard.
I think Aaron feels very frustrated in a way, because describing it as like a test is, you know, there's no clear direction as to like why he's been chosen or why all of us have been chosen and thrown together. And the fact that we've come through this gate and it's closed, like it was a task to be completed, for him just feels like he's being forced to undergo a test. And he's like, his internal dialogue is like, again, like my whole life is just about being tested. And he's like visibly like perturbed. And I think I'm hungry. Can we just go and see what Milton's cooked? And he walks off from the portal towards Milton.
You're a bit pale, Aaron.
I'm fine.
Are you doing okay?
It's not. He's got a new ring light. He's looking fabulous.
What's going on, Aaron? You look 5 years younger.
Allow me to serve you. Mabel has prepared roast pheasant and fresh vulture.
It's a two-bird roast.
Yeah. It's a Voltuck. No. Move on. So the servants that are there, as to say, you notice there's a couple more. They pull out the chairs for you and invite you to sit. And there before you is a really nice looking hot meal, fresh vegetables, fresh meat. And yeah, you tuck in, I assume. Some of you.
Lupin's going to check his cut of vulture for any thong marks.
Sire, the thong is the best part.
Yes,
Considered a
Quote of the day.
chap
considered
by the
a
name of
delicacy.
Cisco told me that once.
Yes. I also noticed, sires, you have returned with the big sky in your possession.
Are an observant man indeed.
How did you know about that?
But it's obvious, sire, the portal is closed.
Is that... well, I realize I'm asking a question we may already know the answer to now, but is that what happens? Is we retrieve a card and a portal closes?
It would appear that way, sire.
If I may ask a question that I suspect that you are not going to be able to answer, is there are presumably more than 6 cards out there, though there are only 6 portals.
I cannot muse on the portal, sire. I can only tell you what is.
Yes, indeed.
Enjoy your meal.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
He walks out of the door towards the sound of the kitchen.
Lupin will be munching away, but will be watching the others, just keeping an eye on things. I think Aaron's sort of little outburst earlier won't have escaped his notice. He'll, maybe not be directly asking about it, but will be definitely, keeping an eye on him.
And I'd like to think that it's not like he's got personal stuff that he's feeling about this situation, but I think that, yes, it's a kind of curious mystery and there's a great deal of like excitement and wonder about it, but I'm sure we'd all feel a bit of a mix of emotions about this is also like really fucking weird and frustrating, and why is this happening? Especially because, Lupin is not a big believer in destiny and all that anyway, is he? So this must feel odd and frustrating to him as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think Lupin's concern is probably more. He's aware of what he's feeling, and he obviously is aware that Aaron's reaction is perhaps just him not being as able to control those emotions and feelings, or to maybe not even control, but to hide them, as maybe Lupin is being a bit sort of older and wiser.
Jason, is Lupin still, I think you mentioned this maybe a couple of episodes ago, is he still kind of struggling to comprehend this? Is this something that he is like scared about or intrigued, or maybe both, and maybe hiding some of that, or kind of where's his head at sort of internally at the moment?
I think it's rapidly, because the uncertainty, I think, is being replaced by intrigue. Lupin is at his very heart a collector. As a thaumaturgian with the esoterica and everything, he is a collector of rare and fantastic items, and he is, for whatever the reason, he has found himself on a path that is leading him to items that are more rare and fantastic than any he's ever come across. So I think he's increasingly sort of getting not swept up in it in terms of excitement, but his natural curiosity and inclination to collect these things is starting to take hold.
On the flip side, Malachi is absolutely getting swept up with it.
Yeah.
It's like he's wants to get the Panini album of Premier League football stickers, and it's quite likes that we're being treated like we are in the Harrow Court. Quite likes the homeliness of it.
It's just like at home. He doesn't have to cook for himself.
It's better than home.
Even got his own room.
We obviously don't know too much about Malachi's backstory yet, which is fine. We've got plenty of time for that. I'm looking forward to sort of digging into that a bit more in the future. So what do you guys want to do? The time is probably around 8 p.m, 9 p.m. now. By the time you've got back, you've eaten.
Malachi nudges Wilhelm, who's next to him at the dinner table, hopefully. You've got the blue sky, haven't you? Let's see what it does. Hasn't it got some sort of special power that, like the other cards did?
I believe it might have one as well, but could we maybe
see what it does?
Could we maybe? I know I don't show it, but I'm really beaten up right now. I would say let's try to do that tomorrow and
spoil sport.
And maybe see that we just relax tonight and maybe take a few days off to upgrade our gear and just take it easy for a bit. The last few days have been really stressful.
All right, then. And he bites into some more vulture.
But I promise, first thing in the morning, I mean, you can even be the one to do it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll definitely be there. What, 7
Okay.
p.m. sharp? 7 a.m.?
It's fine. I'm just gonna put my sleep window at like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I'm gonna be awake. I'm gonna be the one who's waiting for you, friend.
What do you do? Do you party all night or something else?
I'm thinking.
Well, don't do that too hard.
Come on, I could be wrong, Kimone, but I get the impression that even though Wilhelm chooses to only sleep 2 hours, like, even though this ring does get him technically through it, it must, like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I kind of see it like he is tired. Like, even though he's not technically tired, like, mechanically, but it must be like a drain on him.
He is tired, but he chooses to only sleep 2 hours a night.
Interesting.
So, what do you guys think about the idea to, kind of regroup for a bit and take a look at our equipment and try to gear up before our next little venture?
I think that's a good idea, yeah. What do you reckon, Lupin?
I dare say I could stand to do some study. He's not had as much chance as I'd like to take a look at some of these cards, and perhaps I wouldn't mind having a conversation with that Groldo fellow down in the forge as well. Don't know if I've mentioned this, but I'm a bit of an amateur enthusiast when it comes to forging and so on and so forth. So perhaps you can shed some light on some techniques that may be of use to us.
Huh, I didn't see you as the type.
I'm a man of many hidden talents. Did I tell you I have a rap album?
Not that I recall, no.
Malachi's eyes light up. Takes his guitar off.
And by that he means he pulls out an esoteric scrapbook of different fabrics.
Who do you think wrote Mambo number 6?
You said scrap, not rap.
Can't it be both?
I'm looking forward to see many more of your talents, Lupin.
Thank you kindly. I dare say the same, but without wishing to cause offence, you have a quite exceptional talent for murder, and I'd rather not see too much of that.
I would call it a talent, but thank you, I guess.
The servants begin cleaning up your dinner plates and returning them to the kitchen and cleaning up after you. The hour is 9 p.m.
So I think as the cleaning up begins, I think Lupin will sort of excuse himself from the table and probably will take a wander down to the forge. And,
okay.
We'll seek out Groldo.
So Lupin is going to go down to the forge. Aaron
heads straight to his room.
Wilhelm
is going to not going to do much. He's going to take a look at his new card, and
you're welcome to join me.
That's it. Malachi, do you want to give a visit to Groldo?
Well, he seems a nice chap. I might go and have a little speak with him. Yeah.
By the way,
guitar.
By the way, do any of you recall naming him that? I'm not sure. I didn't name him that. Did one of you?
It was my choice. It was my choice.
It feels like I've always known him as Groldo.
Yeah, me too.
He looks like a Groldo.
It's almost supernatural in a way. It's like some greater being beyond our control decided to name him that.
Right, so fucking hell. Everyone goes to bed. Are the three of you going to see Groldo?
Let's go see Groldo.
Let's go find Groldo.
To Groldo. And you make your way through one of the corridors, and you hear the sound of an anvil being struck with a hammer. And you enter the room, and there before you, resplendent in brass, is the brass dwarf. And he greets you. Welcome. How can Groldo be of assistance to you?
Pleasure to meet you, Groldo, or to see you again. Is we just came down to take a look at the forge and what we may be able to do here. I was saying to the others upstairs, I'm something of a amateur craftsman myself, and I was hoping I may be able to lean on your quite formidable experience.
Yes. The workshops of Harrow Heart are yours to use as you see fit. I am able to assist you if you are crafting. I can offer a +2 to any crafting checks, and know the formulas for all armor potency runes, resilient runes, energy-resistant runes, and fortification runes. How long my powers last will depend on when the GM moves you to the remastered edition of Pathfinder 2e.
Who is this GM you speak of?
He is a very intelligent and handsome being.
Was he the one who named you?
Yes.
Oh, it's one of those fictional things.
Incredibly handsome.
He's clearly been programmed to say that, guys. Don't worry.
Wait, it's GM short for Grodo Master?
Yes. Have a hero point, Wilhelm.
You motherfucker, I nearly just sprayed cherry Pepsi Max all over my keyboard.
Jason mid-swig. I cannot craft for you, but I can assist you to craft.
That's good to know. Is half the fun is doing it yourself, but yes, a guiding hand to help me along the way would be much appreciated.
Do you wish to forge with me?
I will very much be availing of your services, but it's been a long day. Perhaps in the morning. So I have some issues with my armor I would like to address, and I believe you may be the man to help me do it.
Groldo will be happy to help.
Thank you, Groldo.
You are welcome. Good night.
Good night.
Sleep tight.
Getting a bit creepy now.
Don't let Malachi bite.
Strangely enough, that was written on the walls of the toilets.
You were faster than me, but only because I was muted there.
Okay, so you all go and rest for the night?
Yes.
Yes, I'd like to say that when everyone went to bed and Wilhelm spent 1 or 2 hours in his room thinking, he gets up and leaves into the hallway, walks over to Lupin's door and knocks a few times.
Lupin answers the door, butt naked.
Never mind.
He's wearing a thong this time.
Yeah, he's got his silk dressing gown on.
Lupin answers the door.
That only comes up to his crotch.
Lupin answers, yeah.
I'm sorry to disturb you. May I come in for a moment?
Of course, yes, please, come in.
Wilhelm walks in, sort of looks around at your... Wait, what did your room look like again?
So, Lupin's room is... I mean, if you imagine what Elton John's bedroom looks like, it's probably not tremendously far short. It is just like an explosion of colour and just silks and just the...
Lots of flowers.
Yeah, the single most ostentatious room you've seen in your life. You presume there is a bed somewhere under the cushions, but you're not entirely sure.
Comfortable. So Lupin, I'm sorry to disturb you at this hour, but
not at all.
I've been thinking, and you seem like someone who's very good at keeping things to themselves. I believe there's a lot you're not telling us, which is fine by me. If you don't want to, can I tell you something?
Absolutely, you can tell me, and rest assured that I will be as discreet as you want me to be.
And Wilhelm pulls out the big sky. I have this weird feeling with this card. I don't deserve it in a way. Like I haven't earned it. And I wanted to ask you if you would want to have it. If not, then that's fine. I don't feel like I have earned what it represents, and I'm not ready to use its power in the fullest.
And Lupin it was sort of sat on the edge of a desk, pauses for a second. Well, I appreciate your candor, and I appreciate you telling me this. If I may be equally as candid, Lupin reaches into his jacket and pulls out the paladin. I've been doing some research on this card, and I understand that this particular card, it represents righteousness, resolute defense. Those are not characteristics I believe I represent. I am many things, some of them to many people, but I do not consider myself a man tremendous righteousness. I have always been exceptionally good at looking out for Lupin and for those who look out for me, but it's perhaps to date that has been as far as it's extended. Yet, since this card came into my possession, I've found that I have become more accustomed to looking after others. Is yourself, Aaron. He pauses for a second. Malachi. I dare say, and I feel slightly strange saying it, I'm not a believer in these things, but I dare say there are elements within these cards that know us better than perhaps even we do. And the fact that Big Sky has found its way to you may be the universe's way of telling you there is growing to do. With that said, if you feel that the best course of action is you to grow without the card for the time being, I would be happy to honor your wishes and take it on board. I will leave that up to you. It's not a decision you need to make here and now. And while we're here, I've been meaning to ask you a question, and it's not a question you need to feel obligated to answer. It's back in the forge when we were fighting the invisible creature. Before it vanished, I overheard it say something to you. I've seen you fail before, and I will see you fail again. May I ask if you're willing to share? What did it mean?
Wilhelm looks kind of taken aback by this, and he looks kind of surprised for a second, and then he says, we've all, as you might know really well yourself, we've all lived our lives separate from each other. We've all made some mistakes, and I'm paying for one that I've made years ago to this day. And I believe that creature might have something to do with it.
And Lupin nods. Well, your journey is your own, to a greater or lesser degree. I am happy and honored to accompany you and the others on it. If I may offer you one piece of advice, it is that we are more the sum of our mistakes. What is gone cannot change. What is yet to come, we can. And he sort of stands up off the desk and sort of steps forward and offers Wilhelm a hand.
Wilhelm stands up and gives Lupin a hug, and
while he's naked.
And as he, while Wilhelm gets undressed. No, and as he takes a step back again, he says, I think there's some things even you might be wrong about.
Wouldn't be the first time, my boy.
Good night. And he goes to the door and gives Lupin a nod and closes it behind him.
Very good, gentlemen.
Yes, so good.
Hero point for you two.
Wow,
That was great.
Now, is there even going to be a roll this session anymore?
Really nice. Yeah, learn a little bit there. Lupin confronting Wilhelm over the words that the invisible creature spoke. So unless anyone else has got anything else to do, I'm going to say you rest for the night. And it's only like day 4 since you guys met, I think.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of work on the calendar.
Getting
I think
intense.
that's the third night. So this bond that's quickly forming, I think it's brilliant between the characters, each with their own little dynamic. some stronger than others. So it's a new day in Harrow Heart. What do you want to do?
I made Malachi a promise. It's time to keep it.
Let's find out about this card.
Yeah, I assume Malachi
Yes.
approaches the portals at 7 a.m. sharp.
Yep.
Wilhelm has been standing there for an hour. Malachi, if you want, then you can do the honors. And Wilhelm holds out the big sky, which he kept after the exchange with Lupin.
And Malachi, excitedly, you can see him shaking, takes it from him, looks at it really hard. Come on, do something.
I love the way they don't say good morning. It's just he runs and takes the card.
No, it's straight to business.
Straight to business. What I like.
I will, Al.
Had some
Just give me the
story.
card.
Let's move things forward.
What do you mean, give me the card? You've been holding it for the last 2 minutes. Nothing's
Make it do
changed.
something. Make it do something.
Malachi, you take the big sky from Wilhelm, and this card's epitome, you realise, is tied to a point of interest in the Harrow Court's desert area.
Oh.
And what I will say for this one, rather than tell you exactly what it's going to do, we'll save that for maybe when you decide to sort of travel over there. That's not something we've really looked into yet.
I think that's what we said, isn't it, the last time, is that we would need to...
At some point, yeah. It's not it's completely up to you guys when you do that, but Malachi, you feel that there is something there relating to that when you do epitomize this card fully within the desert area of the Harrow Court, that it's going to be creating an area that holds great light and great heat.
Malachi slumps his shoulders and looks visibly annoyed.
No wife for Grodo? I take it.
Now, I think we're going to have to travel to the desert. I got this feeling in my stomach. It might be the beer from last night or the chili that we had. That vulture's
Didn't have any chili. What are you storing in your room, Malachi?
Oh no, he's been eating the kippers.
I like the thought that Malachi keeps nipping back to the Grand Bazaar, like, because you don't need all of you to do it. It's just like...
He keeps a secret bowl of chili in his room.
Yeah, nipping back to
Just
get
a stash.
extra snacks.
Just gone back for a kebab, yeah.
So, time for breakfast.
Time for breakfast. We pass over breakfast. You sit down. Wilhelm doesn't eat any. The rest of you do. Right. Wilhelm takes back the big sky. What is the plan? Hi everyone, yet again. My beautiful players, have taken far too long to decide what to do. I'm joined by Matty.
Hello again.
And just want to skip a load of waffle about what the players are going to do. So this time, rather than trying to remove a curse, players decided it was best to take an entire week of downtime. Matty, I know Aaron was feeling that might be useful.
Yeah, a number of us were. I think that we were all in agreement that in a lot of the campaigns that we have played before, there's not really been so much the opportunity for downtime, certainly not written into the adventure. And it kind of felt that with Harrow Heart, that it really does kind of create the space for you to build up this base of operations and then explore that space and also take advantage of things like the brass dwarf in the forge to start creating, leveling up items and just really making it your home. And I think having just played with our characters a little bit more, we finally were kind of getting to grips with what we would like to maybe tweak or change or improve about our characters. And Aaron, certainly I knew I wanted to change one or two things about him, so that's where I came at it from.
Exactly. So the PCs did head back to the Grand Bazaar, but they took a week off, so you're going to join us a week later from where we just left you. The total loot sold gave all of the PCs 365 gold pieces each. Lupin, who has the magical crafting feat, or at least does now, has decided to do some crafting using Groldo and the Forge to get a +2 armor potency rune. That would have been 900 gold, but a couple of rolls and stuff to deal with that. Malachi and Wilhelm have enough gold, so Wilhelm has sent Malachi, don't know why, but he has, on a shopping trip to Absalom, where he has bought 2 +2 armor runes for him and
I think you know
Wilhelm.
exactly why he's got rid of Malachi, just to get him out of the way.
Yeah, I think
Guys,
that's
I want to spend a week with you. Get out of my town. Leave me in the forge. Get out of here.
So Malachi is headed back to Absalom and purchased 2+9 armor potency runes, 900 gold each for himself and for Wilhelm, leaving Aaron alone for a week.
Yeah, and Aaron has spent a week focusing on his spell repertoire and retraining one of his spells, for which I am not going to reveal what I have swapped it over to, but essentially I've gotten rid of one of my spells, which takes me a week, and I can swap it to anything else in the spell list, which is exactly what I've done.
Thank you. And also, whilst Malachi was doing the shopping for Wilhelm has also decided to retrain a feat, which takes about a week. So if you've got any questions, hit us up on Discord for that. But Wilhelm has retrained a feat. So we return to the Harrow Court 1 week later, 7 days later. The PCs are all well rested at full hit points, ready to continue the adventure. Anything else, Matt?
I think that's it.
Right, on with the episode.
Bye.
And we cut back to our heroes 1 week later, fully refreshed, having done some shopping and some retraining. You've now known each other for 11 days. We don't have to roleplay all of that out, but we find ourselves back where we were in the Grand Hall on a morning. You've eaten breakfast, so don't worry about that. What do you want to do?
Wow, guys, I didn't think Milton could party this hard, but holy shit, this week was awesome.
Groldo was quite the DJ.
DJ
Lupin's
Groldo.
just got the name Groldo tattooed across his shoulder.
He's put on a kilo, like several kilos in strength. He's been working out with Groldo in the gym.
Yeah, Lupin's
Jason
a
is now
barbarian,
retrained as a barbarian.
Lupin's just got knuckle tattoos with the name Lupin on them.
A lot can happen in a week. So you're all feeling a little bit stronger, a little bit more tough. A few little changes and tweaks. It's a new day. What do you want to do?
So Aaron is stood in the Great Hall, and the others come down. I'm guessing it's like the morning time.
Yes.
And he's staring back towards the second portal that a week ago he felt really disdainful and frustrated about, and now after a bit of time to reflect and just calm himself and just enjoy a bit of peace in this place, because it does seem like it's quite nice. We feel at home here, don't we? Naturally, like
Yes, very much so.
He's looking at that orange portal with a bit more of a focused determination, and he turns towards the others and says, "Are we all ready?"
Pulls out of his hero deck the juggler and takes a quick look at it and says, I think this one might not be as bleak as the last one. I'm ready.
Before we go, if I may, I had some brief downtime this morning of finishing up the work on my armor, and I managed to create a couple of talismans. Lupin hands a fear gem across to Wilhelm. Wilhelm, this gem will help you strike fear into your enemies. As you are a fearsome warrior as it is, this will at least make it a little bit more tangible. And then Lupin turns to Malachi. Malachi, I was drawn to craft this. It's a new one for me, but it's a muse of sorts. It's a singing muse. He hands Malachi a sort of small figurine, and it looks like it's been crafted from a small piece of like sort of silvery stone. It looks like a sort of the classic Venus de Milo, a dryad sort of pouring water into a small pool. This will help boost any performance checks you need to make. It'll only work once, but hopefully that'll be all we need.
Thank you for that. That's probably one of the greatest things that anyone's ever made for me.
That is truly upsetting.
All right, gifts exchanged. Bags of hair. Matty, anyone get any bags of hair?
Yeah, Wilhelm, he's got the bag of hair.
I'm the resident
shimmering
Hair bearer.
shimmering
Oh, no.
bag of hair.
Care bear. Care hair
Robbing bag of hair.
Kimon,
Care
the
bear.
resident hair bagger is the worst thing I've ever heard anyone say.
Not a pleasant image.
Oh.
All right, so you exchange your gifts, feeling refreshed after a week's downtime, and you stand before the second portal on the northern wall of the Grand Hall. As you knew from before, this portal leads to the Juggler.
Just before stepping through the portal, Aaron says, I want to just try something and see if this can give us a clue as to what lies on the other side. We don't know who we're going to meet, and I want to have some inclination as to who can be trusted. And he pulls out the carnival card and starts to envision. What does he see?
Just as a reminder, when you can do this once per day, you peer into the future and witness yourself walking through this vaguely sinister carnival. Mechanically, I have to roll a secret DC 6 flat check, and you potentially see someone within the vision that you are likely to interact with. And depending on the result, the options are trusted, distrusted, or neither, depending on the flat check. So as you're walking through this carnival, as you peer into the card and have this strange vision in this sinister carnival, a character that takes your eye in one of the sideshows is one of these strong men from carnivals past, wearing the black and white striped sort of leotard, lifting these incredibly heavy weights and dumbbells with these massive feats of strength. And I shall roll my flat check. And you feel that this person can be trusted.
And as Aaron kind of blinks himself out of this vision, he says to the others, I saw in the carnival a figure, a strong man. I felt like he is someone that we could probably trust. Just keep that in your minds. I know it doesn't make much sense, but just keep that in mind.
You approach the portal, and as you stand there, the mists part. You are looking out over a forested mountainside with an ocean on the horizon. You can see some plant life and terrain kind of visible. That would be a nature check if you want to try and maybe get an idea of where it is you're heading to.
Ooh, that's a natural 14 for 31 for Lupin.
That's a natural 16 for 30.
Same for me.
Okay, all good rolls there. Yeah, in fact, all of you know that this region is called the Terwa Uplands in the Mwangi Expanse.
Oh!
I've been so excited to go to this place.
Nice.
Do you step through?
Oh, yeah.
All hand in hand.
Linking arms with Wilhelm.
I like this idea. You all link arms and all step through. You step through the portal, and as the portal closes behind you, you see from a daunting mountainside elevation, thousands of feet, an ocean studded with islands commanding the view to the west, while to the east stretches out an expanse of thick jungle. The slope below hosts a cloud forest, its trees poking up through a layer of swirling mist, while a narrow path winds down and out of view into the fog. And as you look around, you find yourself manifested in the mouth of a cliffside cave entrance, an enormous cave entrance, with the peak of a huge mountain looming high above. Someone can give me a nature check, please, again.
31.
Yeah, no, all good rolls. So you find yourselves, on this, and you realize that you are actually really quite high up here. You are thousands of feet, but above you further, sort of looming high above, is Mount Qualdar, or Mount Qualda of the Mwangi Expanse in the Terwa Uplands. And as you look behind you, you see this cave leads into a cathedral-like space stretching in a rough circle about 100 feet in diameter. I have done a little picture. This is just very, very rough, but just to kind of show you. And the cave leads into this space, its smooth walls running in irregular arcs punctured by fissures and sporadic shafts that allow the daylight in so the whole is well lit. Much of the wall space features huge, simple murals in bright colours, mostly of megafauna and towering trees against a backdrop of high mountains. The shaft of light illuminating the wall shines down, and there's this image of this huge man, rolls of fat on the wall, the light tricking your eyes to make him look larger than even this massive cavern could contain. A second shaft of light falls on a stone altar directly in front of this portrait, and slowly gyrating through loops in the air above the altar is a single harrow card.
What?
Behind the altar, sitting on the ground, you see a dwarf.
So we've appeared. We're in this cave.
You are in the mouth of this cave, yeah. So it leads straight into this.
And this is what we see like through the tunnel.
Cavern. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you are right outside. Below you is the expanse of you are thousands of feet. These amazing views of the ocean, the forest below you, a path that leads down the mountain through the clouds, and you are above that, almost into this huge cavern that's right next to you, with these murals on the wall, with this altar with the light shining on it, with this card doing loops, and a dwarf just sitting patiently sort of behind to the side, at the back of the cavern.
Wilhelm definitely thinks this is a trap and slowly and quietly pulls out his rapier just in case.
Can we get a clear look at this dwarf? How far is he? Quite far away.
Yeah, he's quite far away, but he appears to be wearing a simple blue tunic or robes with a red undershirt. And as you're looking around, he kind of spots you and stands up and places his hands in front of him in a kind of pious gesture.
Aaron looks to the others. Well, shall we? Do we go in?
We may as well. It's nothing ventured, nothing gained.
We start to step in, I guess.
Step into the chamber, your footsteps echoing in this huge room. The dwarf approaches, hands clasped, and greets you. Welcome to the shrine of Balamdar. My name is Blekenu the Pious. How may I be of assistance?
Good day, Nkanu. My name is Lupin Malus. These are my friends, Malachi, Aaron, and Wilhelm. You have travelled here from great distance away, and I suppose we're here seeking, and he sort of looks up, seeking arrow cards, I suppose.
It would appear you have come to the right place. This card appeared here recently, in the shrine of Balamdar.
Can I roll a religion check to try and
Sure can.
identify that?
Go ahead. Aaron, yes, you recognize the name. Balamdar, or He Who Is Massive, is the god of all huge things in the world that tower over small things. The god of strength and might, born of great size. And rolling over your check, the mural that's on the wall is clearly an artistic impression of this colossal god.
Is he like a good god, like a holy god, or is he neutral? Or
Maybe ask Blekenu.
what was the name of the god again?
Balamdar. Balamdar. You come to the shrine of Balamdar to seek harrow cards.
Do you know why the card would land here?
I do not. I am here merely to serve Balamdar.
Would it offend your lord if we were to take the card?
Well, you could try to take it, but I don't know that you'll have much luck.
How so?
I have tried myself and failed. I assumed it was meant to be there.
Is what happened when you tried?
I was unable to take it. The card moved and jostled, and when I finally got my hands on it, it was simply too heavy for me to lift. Even for me, Blekenu, the tallest dwarf in all of the Terwa upland.
How tall are we talking here?
4'3".
8.5 feet tall.
How do we get up there? It's quite far up, isn't it?
It's just right in front of us, isn't it? It's at our
Is it
level.
right in front of us?
Yeah. It's right in front of you.
Go on, Malachi. Go and grab it. Have a go.
Oh, never. Come on then. Yeah. Oh, okay. And he goes across and rashly walks up to the card, reaches out a hand.
And the card continues to sort of do figure of 8 loops, dancing in a space above the altar. As you're doing this, Bledkinu walks off to the side slightly, and he's got some kind of basic supplies there, and he begins pouring sort of water out of a jug and these little biscuits that he puts on a tray and brings over to you.
Some refreshments after your journey.
And Malachi, what do you do? Not with the refreshments, with the card.
No, that's suddenly what Malachi's interested in.
Malachi will really be going for it, actually. He will be trying to catch this as much as possible.
You try and take the card?
Yeah.
You try and take the card and it dances out of your way.
Here, let me help. And Aaron goes up to Malachi and tries to help him grab the card from the air.
Even though you think you might get it, Malachi, as soon as your hand gets on it and this card is moving, let's say you get your fingers just on the edge of it, it feels so immovably heavy that you simply cannot even begin to change its course. It simply dances out and then avoids you again. Bledkinu says,
The card appeared here above the altar one morning several weeks ago. It's very magical, and I suspect it has powers far beyond floating in circles. I've been seeking the prayer that will bring it to life. But look, see how immense the juggler on the card is. Look at the size of the things he tosses so casually. What could this be but a sign from the world shaker Balamdar? Marvelous. This juggler must be a herald of my god. I just need the right prayer to bring him forth.
Your god is the god of strength, yes?
Yes.
This card is almost unbelievably heavy.
Yes.
It seems more than mere coincidence. I will grant you that this of all cards has arrived this particular location, but I must confess I'm somewhat at a loss as to what we'll be able to do to resolve this.
I don't mean to burst any bubbles, but this card has the suit of keys, which is not normally associated with great strength, but rather with great dexterity. It might be that the way to bring this card down is not by sheer force at all.
Keys. Yes. Keys. I've been thinking a lot about that. This card is from the suit of keys. A key must be the key, wouldn't you think? I think if I had a big key, especially a certain, very specific key, I could complete my prayer. At that point, it wouldn't matter whether I had the card or not. And I suppose you could take it.
Do you have any idea where we might find this key?
Why, yes, I know exactly where there is a key. A large key. It is guarded by a cloud dragon named Sedisarax. And the curtain comes down.
Oh my god! Dragon!
Sideways.
You've been listening to Describe Your Kill, The Death of Destiny. Find out more at describeyourkill.com. Thank you to Paizo, Michael Gelfi, Creator Chord, Sirenscape, Kevin McLeod, Foundry, and Sigil Services. Get all the links on our website. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.